Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a story for you here today titled Fiancé Goes into Absolute Panic When Her Boyfriend Discovers That She Was Cheating Right Before Their Wedding. Okay, so here we have a woman who almost made it to the finish line. You know, she almost got wifed up. She almost had that white picket fence and the ability to rob a man completely blind for many, many years. But she screwed it up because she was cheating while she was a fiancé. Absolutely hilarious stuff. Let's jump into today's story. Now, before we jump into today's episode, a lot of you guys have been asking me where are the TikTok videos where I cover ranting crazy women over on TikTok, and I just wanted to announce that for the time being, they will be on my second channel, which I have linked in the pinned comment. So if that interests you, if you like that type of content, if you miss it over here on the main channel, make sure you go and check out the second channel where I will be doing near daily videos for the time being. Again, linked in the pinned comment. Make sure you go and check it out. He says, I am 32. She is 29. We had been together for 4 years and engaged for almost 1 year. The wedding was planned. The deposits were down, the dress and suit picked out, the venue was booked. It was supposed to be the happiest day of our lives. Instead, it turned into the most humiliating. Leading up to the wedding, he says, I noticed that she was distant. He thought that she was stressed because of the wedding. Everyone says that brides go through a ton mentally during those last few weeks, but it was more than that. She was on her phone constantly. She turned it face down every time I walked in, started going out with her quote-unquote cousin more often, someone she never once mentioned in our years together. So this probably isn't even a cousin, to be honest with you. You know what I mean, guys? Like, this is probably not even a cousin. This is just some dude that she's interested in, I would assume. When I asked to meet him, she gave me some excuse about how he was shy and didn't like new people. It didn't sit right with me, but I didn't want to seem paranoid, and that was my mistake. Okay, so what is she doing? In the lead up to the marriage, she's hiding her phone. She's going out with this mysterious cousin who she's never once mentioned before, guys. And this is one of the fantastic ways to tell if people are cheating, man, is they just do things that make absolutely no sense, and they intentionally be incredibly vague, right? That's just really the way it is. He says, 3 weeks before the wedding, I got a call from a number I didn't know. It was a guy who sounded nervous. He said, hey, I don't know how to say this, but I think your fiancé is messing around with my friend. He told me that he's been hooking up with someone named her name, and when he showed me a picture, I recognized her. She's been at his place more than once. I didn't believe him at first. I wanted to hang up, but something in his voice felt honest. He wasn't trying to mess with me. He sounded like he'd been holding on to it for a while and finally cracked. I thanked him and hung up, and then I started looking into it. Okay, so we have some guy who sees what's going on. What is this? This is a friend of the dude, right? And he reports it to the fiancé. And I will say, guys, like these people who snitch, I suppose, they get a lot of flack. You know, I don't understand why. I think it's the right thing to do personally. Right? You are saving a dude from marrying a woman who was cheating on him right before the damn marriage. Okay, I never understand these people that have an issue with people like this who are trying to give the man or the woman all of the information. You know, I think if you're going to commit to somebody, like especially in the context of marriage, you, in my opinion, deserve to know what kind of a person you're actually marrying. Right? Now, if you're some idiot and you're going to get married anyway, then you're pretty much unsavable. But I think men deserve to have all of the information about what kind of person they're marrying. And this is why, guys, I've said this on previous episodes, so many women lie about this crap and lie about who they really are and what their past is actually like. They do this because they understand that men won't accept them if they tell the truth. That's what it's really about. Let's continue. He says, that night I waited for her to fall asleep and I went through her phone. I know people have their own thoughts on that, but I had to know, and there it was. Messages between her and this guy, explicit ones, coordinated meetups, complaining about me, and so on. They had been seeing each other for 2 months. I would assume also again, whenever you have these women who get caught out doing this crap, guys, it's always more than you initially expect, okay? Especially if you've had a long-term relationship. So for example, if you have a wife and you've been married to her for like 7 years and you discover that she's been cheating for the past 2 months, please understand that the cheating has been going on for 2 months. It just might be multiple men, for example. I guarantee you this is probably not the only guy she's been cheating with this entire time. Again, dudes don't understand this, right? Because they're caught on the shock of it happening once. And they're like, you know, they come across this information, and so they just take the information as is. But if you think about it for 2 seconds, guys, these women are typically doing a lot more shenanigans behind the scenes than you might otherwise think. He says 2 months before our wedding. And this wasn't a random fling. She was emotionally invested, as if that makes a difference, by the way, guys. Like, the woman's cheating. You know, it doesn't really matter what kind of investment is there, in my opinion. Talking about how she felt alive again and how she wasn't sure she was ready to settle down. Meanwhile, I was booking the damn honeymoon. Yeah, and this guy's probably paying out of his pocket, obviously, to do all of this crap too. He says, the next morning, I acted completely normal. I kissed her on the forehead, and I went about my day. Then I called my best man, canceled the honeymoon, and spoke to my lawyer. I think this is absolutely the correct decision to make, by the way. Immediately get on the phone with the lawyer, see what your options are. He says, we owned a house together, which was technically in my name, and I wanted everything sorted before I made my move. Yeah, so this guy is also paying the mortgage. What a surprise, right? The men who are providing, the men who are providers. It's really sad, guys, because again, this is the stuff that puts men, it completely ruins women's dating experience, right? Because the men no longer want to provide for the women when crap like this happens to them, and then women complain, where have all of the good men gone? Where are all the providers? You know, where are all of the guys who care about women? And it's like, these dudes get treated like absolute dirt. To me, it's no wonder why the men completely just give up and move on, man. It's not some mystery as to why a lot of good men are leaving dating. It's completely obvious. So he wanted everything sorted out. He said, I transferred some funds. I froze our shared wedding account, told the venue to privately cancel, told the caterers, the DJ, everyone without her knowing, and then I waited for the right moment. 1 week before the wedding, we had our final planning dinner with both families. Everyone thought it was going to be the last calm meal before the big day. Halfway through the evening, I stood up, tapped my glass, and said, thank you all for being here. There's been a change of plans. There will be no wedding. She laughed nervously and thought I was joking. See, here's the thing. This is just me personally, guys. I don't see the need to do this public humiliation stuff of the woman. Simply because, like, you know, there's no need to be so dramatic about it, in my opinion. Does she deserve it? Absolutely. Can I be bothered making a speech about it? No. I'd rather just boot the woman out, cancel everything, and then make the necessary calls. But that's me personally, guys, you know. I don't need some sort of you know, big event or big dramatic moment or anything like this. I personally would rather just boot the woman out and then go from there. He says she laughed nervously and thought I was joking. I looked at her and said, I know everything, and she went completely white. Dead silent. Everyone was frozen. Her parents looked confused. Mine looked heartbroken. I pulled out my phone, opened the messages, and placed it on the table in front of her. I said, maybe he can explain why you're not ready to settle down. Oh my goodness. So what did he? He printed them or something? No, he just opened them on his phone. Okay. She burst into tears, tried to deny it, then tried to say she was confused, and then tried to blame me for being distant lately. This guy is booking he's booking the damn honeymoon. Okay, and this woman's complaining about him being distant. Holy hell. He says, I walked out and I haven't spoken to her since. She went into full panic mode after that. She tried everything. So she was calling him nonstop, showed up at his office. Guys, I always find this to be funny as well, right? Where women will just show up unannounced at the dude's property or at his work and things like this. And like, just imagine if this was a guy. I guarantee you, if this was a dude, there would be a very solid chance that people would be placing like a restraining order or something on him. You guys see the difference, right? Women show up at the office. It's like, haha, okay, you know, silly woman, silly thing to do. But if a man shows up at the office, you know, people would be telling her to get a restraining order immediately. I think a restraining order should be put on these women, guys. Like, they act so damn crazy. They really do. Like, these are the types of women who will key your car. You know, they will damage your property. They will show up unannounced. They will stalk any future girlfriend you have. They will cause issues. So she sent letters. She emailed his family. She even tried to spin it like we had miscommunication issues and should have had counseling. What the hell? He says, no, you don't accidentally cheat for 2 months. You don't miscommunicate your way into someone else's bed. Couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. From what the mutuals told me, he says, the guy ghosted her 2 weeks after everything blew up. Apparently, he didn't know she was engaged. When he found out, he dipped. She lost the wedding. She lost the house. She lost the relationship. And she lost the backup plan all in a matter of days. And now she's staying with a friend, still trying to make things right. Man, I just wish the dudes would block these women. Block the women, get a restraining order, you know, do what you have to do. Because again, this is, you know, think about this for a second, okay? The dude got screwed over, right? The dude should be the one in pain, okay? And he should be allowed time to, dare I say, grieve the marriage, right? Grieve the future marriage that was about to happen. And yet here she is trying to make things work after he's clearly said no, guys. Like, you've got to imagine from the dude's perspective just how stressful this is. And this is why I say it's just better to just completely cut the women off, guys. Cut the woman off immediately. Make it so that she can't contact you in any way. Get a restraining order if you have to. And then clear your head, whether that be with hobbies or the gym or whatever it is that you're interested in, so that this is not going to affect you anymore. Okay, because guys go through this and they don't often talk about it, but it's an incredibly stressful thing for a dude to go through, especially a dude who's a fiance, okay? So, you know, completely ridiculous here. He says, marriage is supposed to be built on trust. She destroyed that trust one message at a time, thinking that I would never catch on, thinking that I was too in love to notice, too invested to walk away. But the truth is, once I saw her for who she was, walking away was the easiest thing I've ever done. She threw it all away for a fling, he says. Now she's begging for the life that she shattered, and I'm building something better without her. Fantastic. I think this guy made the right move. I don't know if I personally would have had, you know, done some sort of large announcement about it, but hey, I mean, at the end of the day, it was funny and she was completely humiliated. And what really matters is that this dude is actually no longer tolerating her in his life. I think that's the most sensible thing to do. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Have you ever seen something similar happen? Make sure you drop a comment if so. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.